In this video, we're going to look at the site settings relating to email, text and phones, and letters. Let's start with email. Over here is the corporate email footer. This is what appears at the bottom of every email sent outside of Infoodle. You can customize this how you'd like. We recommend using some sort of confidentiality statement. You can also set your system email address. This is the email address that will be used when sending out things like passwords and will likely be your main administrator, which may be you. The next two fields, system email from name and default email address. This is for people that do not yet have an email active on their profile, but are allowed to use the contact section of Infoodle to send out emails. So by default, it should be your organization name and something like info at your organization name, or accounts or sales, whatever is your main email address that you use for communication. Duplicate check requests for clustered members. We won't dive into clustered members in this video, but if you do require duplicate checks, this is the administrator's email address that you should be using, which will likely be the same as the system email address. Now let's move on to text and phones. What is your country code? A suggested phone format. So this allows you to keep all of the phone numbers uniform throughout your database. And there's some examples of how you can set this up here. Charge per text messages. This is how much text messages cost. By default, Infoodle is 15 cents per text, but if you're using your own gateway, you may have a different figure. And which gateway should you use? By default, Infoodle's gateway is selected, but we have a few others on offer as well if you have an account with them. Again, don't forget to hit save. Now finally, let's look at letters. There's only one setting here for letters, and that's a heading spacing for the letters. By default, it's recommended that you keep this at 55 millimeters, but if you've got your own unique measurements, you can set this here and hit save.